Welcome back to the Fishing Doctor's Adventures. Today, this is an underwater walleye film. So it always is good to see the camera going down and there's already a fish on the camera. We're out at Pigeon Lake today. Really slow. So here's a bunch of fish just ignoring the jiggle and I'm going to set it up. Pigeon Lake is a pretty good sized lake full of walleye. It's about an hour south of a city of 1 million people. The city of Edmonton used to be formerly known as the City of Champions. Well, these walleye get caught a lot, have a lot of pressure. So on these slow days, you really notice they're difficult to catch. In these first few shots, you're seeing I'm just setting up the jaw jacker in most of them, and the fish are coming by to check it out. But none of them were hitting when the bait was moving. This one, you see he was ignoring the bait, probably because of that big pike on the other side. But as you'll see, most of these fish just come in, eye up this jiggling bait, and take off. So this is the eye check. The walleye are able to come within a few inches and they determine that this bait is not something that they want to mess with. This is probably after seeing a lot of jig and minnows. You can see they come in, they're excited, they get in within a few inches, decide this is not something I'm going to mess with today. Over and over, this has happened so many times on this video that I've been editing. The fish just come in, check it out quick, and take off. Next section, the bump test. This is one of the more interesting things. I haven't really noticed this before at other lakes. They'll come in and just tap the jig head. I guess these walleye have figured out if there's a minnow suspended off the ground, it's probably living and it should swim away if bumped. Well, this walleye, he's the most interesting. He does it, bumps it twice. He's thinking about it, coming up, but he decides he'll leave this breakfast in lieu of becoming lunch. Here's another light bump test. He did touch it. He takes off. And a final one. Look at that. They just do a nice nudge. They can realize this is not real. This is another super interesting thing I found. This is the cleanup crew. Always, you have a few minnows that fall off your rig and rest on the bottom. Well, these walleye were more interested in these. This is actually a jig that I lost. It has the jig and a treble hook trailer. Look how he just inhales it, chomps it in. And this guy stayed in the camera for about 30 seconds and he didn't spit it out. So I think he inhaled that jig and minnow that was just laying on the ground. Here comes another one in to check out this other minnow. Now, after seeing this, I figured if we set up the jaw jacker with 8 inches of line and put another single hook and a minnow that's laying on the bottom, we might get more action. My uncle went out, tried this out. He caught a whole bunch this way. So keep that in mind. Next time it's slow, put a minnow on the bottom and you might get into some action. Here's one that was coming in. I was messing around with the jaw jacker. The jig was close to the bottom. I didn't know this guy was watching. He probably would have taken it, but I pulled it up and away from him. The bite. Now, I only got one actual bite on the camera, even though I caught more than that on the jaw jacker. But this is kind of cool. He uses all the techniques. He comes in for the bump test. He's eyeing it up. He does a little taste. Yep. Not sure. Then he comes in for the bite. There we go. I love these guys, how they bite. They just inhale the bait. And here he is, chomping on it. You can see again, I probably had the tension set a little bit too tight on the jaw jacker. I like it set a little bit tight. When I'm fishing trout, I set it really loose. But pike and walleye I set a little bit tighter so that they actually get to take the bait. This guy's swimming around. Now listen closely. Here's going to come the jaw jacker going off. There you go. You heard it snap there. Now he's obviously swimming down a bit. It's pulling him up a little bit. I actually caught that one. These are just some more that are on the prowl. I must have took out 100 shots of walleye just swimming by, totally ignoring the bait this day. They were in such an off mood. They really had nothing to do with that bait. They were looking, I don't know what they were looking for. Something more lively to chase, but they were in a super neutral mood. And one thing I did learn though was lay that minnow on the bottom, the walleye are more likely to bite. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Watch this jaw jacker pike video. It's kind of cool as well. I learned a few things watching it and I narrate it, so go check it out.